Let's start by paint removal. As you can see, I have a sash or a casement that has a lot of peeling paint. The paint that's on this casement was latex. And never should you apply a water-based paint to steel. If there's one point that I should make, always gravitate to an oil-based acrylic paint, an oil-based paint preferably on steel and any steel materials. If you are working in steel, you could go to an auto body paint that gives you a better sheen, a longer life than most that are out. But we do want depth of color and a multitude of colors to utilize here. I would start with a carbide scraper, and a simple carbide scraper that you can purchase at Lowe's or Home Depot for about $19. But we'll move to the removal of paint. Yes, a bit noisy, but very, very effective. The next method I'd like to show you is a needle scaler. I'm using a small needle scaler that I acquired from Harbor Freight, cost $25 on a portable hydraulic air compressor. I like to use a 4-inch wire wheel grinder. Fenestra, in one of its pamphlets, I believe 1921, identified their method of scarring. You could do it with acid wash, but scarring the metal. And we scarred the metal or pit the metal so that the primer and paint had valleys to bond to or to hook to. Very much like a plaster or the lath provides a key for the plaster to hold onto the surface. This is a small micro scarring of the metal here so that our primer and paint has a key to lock into. By utilizing a wire wheel grinder, we are able to get down to new steel, or what some would term new steel, but it's the same old steel that was there with a little bit of surface rust. What I've done with a utility knife or an X-Acto knife is go in place and just with a loose glazing edge, raise it out on both sides. And you need to do this on both sides because the glazing and the compound is on both sides. But what we want to do is work the glazing into my lead paint, and I'm really just going to use an index finger and work it in tightly as I can pack it in my lead paint. And in doing so, what I provide is a seal and eliminate the air infiltration And I also, stepping back to the camera, sorry, I also fill the air leaks and strengthen my window. The glazing is like marrow, and this glazing will harden to the hardness of the exterior glazing. And then I use either a rose stick or a little tool like this, since you're going to a ceramic shop or a potter's shop. How about a potter's cutting stick? Generally made of mahogany. Feels wonderful in your hand. And jam that potting stick in so you're clearing the edges of the glazing. And from that point, I use whiting or plaster of Paris. Just put it on the tip of the brush. What this does, it polishes and cleans your cane, and it adds a little bit of powder into your glazing to accelerate the drying process.